We are back for episode 3 of the LAM. We just teleported to January 2026, y'all. We are back. Again, my name is Matt.
Lucas.
Aidan.
You don't need an introduction because you obviously watched the last 2 episodes. If
Obviously.
you're watching the third one, hopefully. If you didn't, check them out.
And
we're back after a long layoff, but not for sports, just for school. And we've had a ton of news. What would you say your sports watching was like on break?
About
Pretty good?
Yeah, about as high as it usually is. Maybe even
Okay.
more with the playoffs going on. So I watch a ton of sports anyway. So
Nice.
it was high.
There was a lot of sports consumption.
Yeah.
A ton of sports consumption. An aggressive amount of sports consumption, some would say. But it was a good, I like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the best part. Like,
Yeah.
So I work like weird hours with my job because of like plow and landscape and stuff, right? So some mornings, like some days I just like, because I work overnight, I can just wake up, and I like waking up on like a Saturday or like a regular day, or like just be like, yo, there's going to be like some good football. I'm going to do nothing.
Yeah.
I'm just going to sit here, do nothing all day and wait for football and then watch football.
And if it snows, maybe I'll get called in.
Yeah, if it snows, I might get called in and have to watch it on my phone, but it's all right. There actually wasn't too much of that, which was like not bad.
Nice.
So I got to watch a lot of the games.
And
which
are
I was
you
pretty
like
happy about.
WGR all day in the truck? Or
Oh,
what, you
dude.
playing some music? What are you playing?
So I'm like, I work with these guys, and I force them WGR.
Nice.
As soon as at 6 o'clock, because I don't like to do the matter, like, because I'm pretty sure Jeremy and Joe on the 550, they get on at 5. But as soon as 6 o'clock hits, bro, we're heading right 5:50.
6 a.m.?
Yep, Jeremy and Joe in the morning, baby. We gotta be listening.
Got to hear what they're saying.
And some of the callers have just been brutal recently, but
Which we'll get into some more Bill stuff. But,
we are going to get into some Bill stuff, that's for sure.
Yeah, and Lucas hasn't been around like the Buffalo atmosphere, so we'll fill you in on all the crazy, mad things that Bills fans have been doing, up until their demise in the playoffs.
Yeah, I was hoping they'd make the Super Bowl. I'd get to experience it full
we
throttle.
could have
Hey,
had
I was hoping to.
boots on the ground at the parade, but
I would definitely be there.
would've been a great
If there was a
video.
parade, I would definitely be. We got one more year. I'm at least in Buffalo for one more
Okay.
year. They got to make it next year.
No, we're gonna trap you. You're gonna stay here forever. You're never
Could be,
leaving this city.
but we got one more guaranteed year.
so yeah, super awesome break in terms of sports, super awesome break in just in terms of vibes. It really didn't get bad weather-wise until right now,
Yeah.
this
We're, like,
today.
right
so,
at the
Yeah,
end.
right when we got to go back.
which makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Right in time to walk to classes.
But what do you think is the best topic to start on? 'Cause we got a lot.
So obviously, breaking news just happened not even hour and a half ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Joe Brady,
Whoa.
head coach of the Buffalo Bills.
Whoa.
Matt is hearing this for the
Breaking
first
news
time.
to myself, man. See, this is why the LAM exists, man.
Exactly. So, Joe Brady.
Dang. I guess, yeah, we have to talk about this. It's like a brick wall that we have to either jump over or just run through. So,
I think I know somebody who's going to run right through it. If you want
No,
to
you guys can start. No, why don't you guys start?
All right. I'll let Matt start. Bills fan.
I think- yeah.
As someone who as you just hear
Yeah.
the news,
my immediate thoughts about this, right?
this is perfect, actually.
To start, I wasn't really, in terms of Bills news and coaching, I wasn't really in tune to like, okay, the Bills, here's who I want the Bills to pick up. My requirements were really just, and it kind of sucks, I didn't want somebody that's either involved or been involved with the Bills organization. I wanted somebody young that I'd never heard of. Honestly, I've been really inspired by the Seahawks coach, McDonald. It's like, who's this McDonald guy? He just came out of nowhere the last 2 years and
That's very true.
changed an organization around and brought it back. The amazing thing is he brought it back. It's like their defense is the thing again. It's like it's 10 years later. But that's beside the point. So like I had mentioned, I didn't really know who the candidates were. I didn't know, who we really wanted. All I know is I didn't want Brian Daboll or Joe Brady. And I was going to be lenient. I was going to be like, okay, maybe Davis Webb. Like, he's been with the Broncos for a little bit.
Yeah, you know what?
But, man,
No.
I guess. What happened to, like, Joe Brady is, like, walking on a tightrope with his job.
And that's a phenomenal, you bring up such good points of the young thing, especially with the McDonald McDonald worked under Pete Carroll for a while, and then I remember he got hired, and everyone was kind of like, really? This is what they're leaving Pete Carroll for? And now look what he's done so many years later. And Clint Kubiak, that was a guy that we could have picked up, but I'll continue more in a second, but you bring up great points of it makes no sense of why would we ever pick someone in the organization.
And I also don't see how it's much different from McDermott's, ideology. Obviously, McDermott's selling point, he's a defensive guy. It's like, but I feel like when you're a head coach, it's kind of like, you're not going to pigeonhole yourself in defense or offense. You got to expand. But Joe Brady, I mean, if he wants to tote offensive coordinator into his coaching position, you better show it. We need receivers, man. We need receivers, man.
Yeah.
But I mean, as our competitor, what is the fear factor in terms of
this was
outside of the
neutral
AFC
party.
For me, this was best case scenario, and I'll say why. I will say why. So being a Browns fan, I went into the search. I initially wanted Clint Kubiak. Browns didn't even bother interviewing. I was like, okay. So I hear this Grant Yudinsky guy. I'm like, you know what? He's got a lot of praise from Minnesota, a lot of praise from Jacksonville. I'm like, this is the guy right here. And tomorrow he bails. He leaves the coaching search. I'm like, oh, he's headed to Buffalo. He's going to go to Buffalo. Typical Browns. He's going to go to Buffalo. He's going to be a star. They're going to win a Super Bowl. And they go with, which actually wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but I wanted him in Cleveland. But he doesn't even go to Buffalo. He goes back to Jacksonville, and they get Joe Brady. Best case scenario for me, because I don't think Joe Brady's a head coach. I think from the outside looking in, I'm not like deep in Bills talk like you guys are, but I think he's a solid enough offensive coordinator. But to promote him to head coach, I don't see it.
And I hope I eat my words. I hope that his credibility, his resume, it's the likes of what, Joe Burrow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, LSU.
Another pretty notable quarterback that I forgot who he had.
I want to say he worked with Bryce Young maybe in Carolina, or he was in Carolina at some point. There's
a very real possibility of that.
But yeah, I hope I eat my words. I hope this is
100%.
just an awesome. But in terms of I thought firing McDermott was going to be like, okay, we are basically in the next era of this team. I honestly thought Joe Brady was gone.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, let's hear your kind of take on this, man.
I want to build off what you just said there about the whole McDermott firing. So in years past, I've been one of the biggest McDermott critics, and this year I actually cut him a lot of slack. I think because I actually do think he did a really good job this year. And my big problem was with Bean and the lack of getting a receiver. But fine, you want to fire Sean McDermott, that's fine with me. I get it. Coaches hit walls. I think to sit there in a press conference though, like Terry Pagula and Brandon Bean did, and say, we lost a game because of a catch and a bad rule by the officials. And then for Terry Pagula to then go on say, well, I walked in the locker room and I decided to fire him. How does that make sense at all?
It doesn't. I thought the same thing when I heard it.
Isn't that that is the most contradictory? I can't even pronounce the word. That's the biggest contradiction in the entire world. How do you say that? How does that make sense in the slightest?
It was a decision purely based on emotional. He said he walked in the locker room, saw Josh Allen crying, and that's basically what did it for him.
Right. And so fine. You want to fire McDermott? That's okay. Now, I think this is a whole different conversation. If maybe it leaks or something, you tell McDermott at the beginning of the year, hey, it's Super Bowl or bust this year. You really need to put your nuts on the line here and win out. And then even if at the beginning of the playoffs, if it was something similar like that, of hey, Burrow's not in it, Lamar's not in it, Mahomes is not in it. If this isn't your year, I don't know when it will be. I can live with that. I can be okay with it. But to say that you fired him because of what happened during that Denver Broncos football game is the most insane thing to me. It does not make sense. It does not register in my brain. And I think that's that's a real sore spot for me. And now that you've hired Joe Brady, what you are saying effectively to all the fans is that because you're going to keep most of the staff there because Joe Brady's already an in-house hire. So I don't think he gets anyone really else. I could see him just promoting his passing coordinator or his run game coordinator, probably his run game coordinator. So everyone's going to stay in-house. We get maybe a new DC who's going to have to fix this abysmal defensive roster. So you have to deal with that. And what this all says, at the end of the day is you are saying that Sean McDermott was such a big problem in your organization that he was the only issue, because you're willing to not only promote Brandon Beane the day that McDermott was fired, but you're also going to promote the offensive coordinator. So clearly McDermott must be the biggest problem. But I don't think McDermott was. I don't think anybody thinks McDermott was.
No, according to Pegula, he is, because it was his decision to draft Keon Coleman.
And let's talk about that.
Yeah, we need to talk about that. I think if you're an owner, if you are an owner of any professional sports team or any part of any professional sports team, there is no I, there is no they, there is only we.
Exactly.
There is no, that's like if something happened with like us in this podcast, you know what I mean? If we got caught up with, that we broke some school rule, like I'm obviously not going to point fingers. I'm going to say, we may have broken a school rule, so we'll take accountability for that. And that is not what Terry Pegula did with however that press conference, with the failure of a press conference. And I do want to respond before we move on to Keon Coleman, just to a couple of things you said.
Absolutely.
Because I don't fully disagree with you, but I do, I was watching some of that press conference, more passively watching. I wasn't, but I was hearing a couple things that Pegula was saying. And in terms of the, going up to Josh didn't obviously interact with Pegula at all. I'm almost wondering if, in Pegula's mind, it's like, okay, the GOAT is sitting in front of me, crying, and, we've been trying things. Obviously, we don't all agree with what they're trying with, but it's like, let's throw this dart of firing our coach just to see if it can make a difference. You know what I mean? It's almost like they're trying anything they can, and unfortunately, the next attempt at trying to, move on to a Super Bowl is, okay, so-and-so didn't work, what's next? Coach maybe didn't work, what's next? And then in terms of Joe Brady moving up, I really hope we don't end up in a situation where we don't have an offensive coordinator, because correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't there a time where McDermott was taking over defensive responsibilities while he was officially the head coach?
After 13 seconds, Leslie Frazier stepped away, and then McDermott was kind of basically just like our defensive coordinator for a year, and he was doing all the defensive play calls. And then I think Babbage came in. So
it's like, okay, we have our head coach, but now let's give us our offensive coordinator, who's going to be, having the reins of Josh Allen, because Joe Brady has a bigger obligation now. If he still has this kind of mindset where it's, all focused on what Josh Allen's doing, it's like, no, dude, you got a whole two other sides of the ball that you got to focus on, and some off-field stuff, because I guess that's a problem for some reason, which we'll get into with Keon Coleman. And I think it's an over-exaggeration with the Keon Coleman stuff. But yeah, man.
No, yeah. And that's the thing, I think I agree with you too. I don't even know if getting rid of McDermott was the wrong decision. I think I go back and forth. I think a lot of me is emotional about it because this is a guy that pulled us out of the drought. He's done so much for us. And whenever I imagine the Bills winning a Super Bowl, it was always McDermott and Josh. And now it's just going to be somebody else and Josh. And I think that makes it really hard. But
also opening the new stadium, it's I thought the first game in the new stadium was going to be McDermott and Josh.
100%. 100%.
Just felt right, but
it did. And I think that's what makes it excessively hard. That's what. Yeah. But I think the manner in which Pegula did it and the way in which he's handled it has been so abysmal and horrible. It is honestly it's kind of sickening.
I'll add to that. When I first saw the firing, I was I wasn't oh, this is the right thing to do. But I was I get it. You want to say you hit your playoff wall, I understand where you're coming from. But the way you drag him through the mud in a press conference, blame decisions that were proven to be Brandon Beane's decisions, like drafting Keon Coleman. And then on top of that, it's not like this was the best year for coaching candidates. I mean, who were the best coaching candidates out there, like Robert Saleh and guys like that, who were already taken by the time the Bills fired McDermott?
Since when is Brian Flores still a top coaching contender? I'm sorry, but
no. That guy terrorized Tua. He literally
even Robert Saleh, we saw him try to take a team.
That's why I was surprised he went to Tennessee. I figured he'd try to get
from Arizona. Was it Kingsbury? He got canned, right?
Yeah, I don't know what we were just talking before the podcast started. I have no idea what Arizona's gonna do.
No, I have no clue.
But yeah, no, it doesn't make sense.
I think it's kind of a stepping stone moment for the Bills. And I almost want to compare it to, we had Tyrod Taylor. He was kind of the guy to get us to some position. And we moved on to Josh Allen. It's like, okay, we had McDermott. We're in some position. Time to move on. Maybe that can get us to the ultimate goal of winning a Super Bowl. So I think it's, we're not owners. We're not whatevers. They make the decision. So we're going to just wish for the best for this to play out.
Google, I will buy stock to become an owner. I will give you everything. I take it all back.
We will buy you food at the dining hall at
dude,
campus.
Yeah, dude, I will. I will purchase so much from concession stands.
But maybe, I guess we'll get to the Bills-Denver game a little bit
before
we move on from the Bills.
Well, do we want to talk Keon a little bit? Just that whole
true.
kind of issue with that. Just this is one last thing about this disaster press conference.
That was messed up.
I'm not a Keon guy. I don't like Keon. I've been very vocal about how I don't like Keon. If you go to my Twitter, Wadon, alright, it's my name, just the first letter of my first name.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Yes, viewer discretion is advised. Basically, that the fact, like I said, I have no love. There's no love lost for Keon. To turn a why you fired your coach press conference and who you're going to sign in the offseason and contracts press conference into a Keon Coleman's draft process press conference, which happened 2 years ago, is absolutely insane. To, as a GM, sit there, and granted, he did eventually push back, but to let an owner say that the head coach made a drafting decision, buddy, you know what that means? That means you're not a good GM.
Yeah.
That means that you are a coward and you can't pick things on your own. Like, how as a GM are you going to sit there and let an owner say, well, the head coaching made that decision, and then you're going to have video of you saying, well, I'm glad that he ran a slow 40. Yeah. You moron, you absolute moron. And I wanted to cut him some slack about the whole McDermott firing because I don't think he was very involved. But I cannot, now that you've hired Joe Brady, you backstab Sean McDermott. You backstab Sean McDermott. That's what you did. You turned on somebody that you entered an organization with, or at least he entered a year before you. And it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate how it's not normal to have somebody take a step back in an organization. It's either you're canned or you're moving on to a new team. It doesn't seem like there's a way for, what if McDermott, maybe he just, it's too much of a responsibility. Can he take helm of the defense for a year? I don't know. It sucks that he's officially gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't blame draft picks on coaches when
no,
you're the owner.
Yeah. And you know what I really think happened with that situation, just to go back to it for 1 second? I think that McDermott probably told Bean, hey, we need a receiver. And because we're the Bills and because we're good, we draft low. So that he thought Keon was going to be the only real good receiver there. And he made a bad pick. Pick. Yeah. It happens. You know what? It happens.
It's not like Brandon Bean's been known for making the best picks either.
Yeah, so. And it's like, also, what is Keon Coleman supposed to do? I feel so bad for this dude.
If I was him, I would request a trade that hour.
Immediately.
Yeah,
immediately.
Sucks because we just diminished any hope for getting anything for him.
Yes,
We're acting like he's I don't know, some G League guy, but
literally, I guess he's bad, but he
scored for us in the most important game of the year.
Yeah.
So it's just
I don't know. I think it's
just a tough beat, I guess.
It's one thing for some loser like me to say Keon Coleman is bad. It is a completely different thing for your GM and owner to say, yeah, well, we don't really rock with this guy.
Yeah. And then Bean's just with his tail between his legs,
Mm-hmm.
acting like he's getting controlled by the owner. It's just
100%.
I don't know.
So we can talk about the game now. Now we can get to
we'll talk about the game. We'll get into some playoffs.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting us blow off some steam, and you as well. You're kind of just...
I'm just happy to be here.
You're like that meme of
that for no reason.
You're like the meme of the two abusive parents in the room. Although, honestly, the day after the game, I was just like, damn, but we move on. You know what I mean? So, yeah, 33-30, man.
I think just to get it out of the way immediately, was that a catch?
Yeah, I mean, I will send you the picture, Matt. I hope this isn't too much work that you can put on the screen. I have a picture. I'll show it to you.
We have graphics now.
Yes.
We have graphics.
And I'll send it to you so you can put it on screen. It is. That's not a catch. In what world is that not a catch? His knee.
It is
down.
Unfortunately our world. You know what I mean?
He has possession.
That's where.
I think as a whole, the NFL catch rule is very convoluted. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay, you have the right to your opinion.
I
Matt,
think
what do you
I
think?
think they called it on the field an interception. I don't know if they would have even changed it. The fact that they didn't even look at it, the fact that McDermott had to use a timeout for them to look at it, I think is egregious.
Yes.
But I don't know if they would have changed it anyway.
I don't know how that gets ruled an interception on the field. That's what I'm saying, though, because in a tie, it goes to the receiver. And the fact, it's probably the right call because they ruled it an interception. But if they ruled it a catch, it's our ball.
Well, yeah, whatever they
100
ruled it, I think would have stayed.
And a tie should go to the receiver. But I don't even think we should talk about this because Denver fans, they do have a good point about like the whole holding and the game would have been over.
Yeah.
That was an egregious hold.
That was crazy.
That was really bad.
And then on top of that, the first one with the pass interference on Taron Johnson, that was because the play right before it was like the same play and they didn't call it.
Exactly.
And the next play they called it. The one on Tre'Davious White was definitely
PI.
a PI.
What a game! In terms of the catch, I'm not gonna fight NFL referees in terms of anything. Obviously, as a Bills fan, I wish it was a catch. I hoped it was a catch, but
Gene Steratore is a sellout, by the way.
Gene Steratore is terrible. He wasn't even
fake.
a good ref.
He is fake.
No.
When he
was
did
funny
ref.
though. He was funny. Have you ever seen the index card clip? That's an all-time clip.
But yeah, I don't think. Just to touch on Josh Allen in that game,
Yeah.
I mean, the fumble at the end of the half, I said when that happened, it's going to end up being a 3-point game they're going to lose. That's exactly what happened. And then I looked up this stat. On throws 20-plus yards down the field in that game, he's 0 for 9 with 2 picks.
All right.
And
Damn.
Damn, bro. That was a hater stat. That was a hater stat.
I looked at it, and then I was like, damn, am I reading that right? And then I went on Twitter, and then someone said the same thing. I was like, I'm not a Josh Allen hater. I'm just presenting facts to you.
That was a hater stat.
But yeah, on top of that, I had a good comparison. At least I think it's good. The 2020's Bills in the playoffs are almost the exact same team as the 2010 Packers after they won the Super Bowl.
Dang.
It's every year. It's like, okay, they could go to the Super Bowl and they just don't do it. They lose in the big games. The one against Seattle in the NFC title game, blew that game.
Okay.
The one against Arizona, that big OT game. Remember when Aaron Rodgers threw the one to Janice? Falcons NFC Championship game got blown out. Niners again. The Niners the same way the Chiefs are the bane of the Bills' existence in the playoffs. That was the Niners to the Packers.
Who was that?
Dang.
Who was the QB?
And do you want to know what's almost worse?
Oh yeah, Jimmy G.
What's almost worse than that not being a catch? The fact that the overtime was implemented for the Bills a couple years ago, and we're losing in an experience where our rule is, taking into effect. And it's just like, that just makes me think the Bills are cursed.
Every year we find a new way to get our just absolutely decimated. Just absolutely, like, you think it can't get any worse than this. It gets worse.
Yeah, it does.
Josh is 0-9. 0-9
and the icing on the cake
is
the Broncos' 10-7 loss to the Patriots.
Send
them to the Super Bowl.
The real kicker to that is Bo Nix, an hour after the game, he's out for the season. They got to play Jarrett Stidham.
No, yeah. And, I mean, listen, what it really comes down to is you can't turn the ball over 4 times in a game and think you're going to win the football game.
Turnovers in football games. Any high school coach will tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, so it is what it is, and that's what it comes down to. But maybe we should get to more general NFL.
Yeah, I think we'll go with where we're at.
We could jump right into those championship games over the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to start with the first game, Patriots-Broncos?
Yes. Yeah. Snowy game, kind of crappy weather.
Yeah, it was super windy.
And obviously the scenario is just unfortunate for the Broncos, as we mentioned.
Yeah.
But, man, did you guys see Stiddy's pick just to kind of get out of Broncos? We're heading home. I mean, it's just unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like it was just funny seeing, like, the delusion of not only Broncos fans, but everyone in the NFL. It's like Nick Foles did it, whoever did it,
Yeah.
whatever year. It's just like,
Well, like, you remember in the first quarter he threw like that 50-yard bomb?
Yes.
The completion. I got to go on Twitter, and we got these Browns reporters like, oh, dude, the Browns got to get Jarrett Stidham. And then the rest of the game just proves why they should not get Jarrett Stidham.
That's like so like
Bro.
Gardner Minshew, like when he went to the Raiders.
Yeah.
that is too funny, bro.
After you had that one year with the Colts. Yeah, no, just boring game in general. It felt like, honestly, like nothing you can really do. Drake May, I mean, I'm not gonna like discredit him. He had a ton of rushing yards, but
He won it with his legs too, man.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
shame to see.
Yeah, yeah.
At least as a
like-
Bills fan, it was.
Yeah, so it was just, it is what it is. I think the Bills probably win that game. I think the Bills are probably going to the Super Bowl right now, but yeah, it is what it is.
With that, there was a lot of discourse about, playing in those conditions and the big games and all that. Are you guys fans of all these teams going to dome stadiums?
I don't know.
Nah, I honestly hate how, like, mainstream just sports in general is getting. Because
Yeah.
I was talking to my friend about it with the UFC. It's like the UFC's on Paramount now. It's not on some, streaming platform that's hard to get to
Yeah.
for some like
Yeah.
it's promoting streaming platforms, and now the NFL is also promoting. It is the thing doing the work to draw people to these platforms, and now the stadiums are drawing people that may not even really know or like football to the event just because it's an awesome venue.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I like the elements. I think that makes the game.
I think it's a part of the game. I
Oh,
think
100%.
people are just like, oh, it ruins the game. I think it's a part of the game. It always has
Yeah.
been. What do you think they were doing in the 50s and 60s? They didn't have dome stadiums.
Especially
100%. And like I love it when like a team is backed up on like their 3-yard line and they were doing a run play and it's snowy and their running back falls in the end zone. That is like the best thing in the world. That's the game of football. Like,
or when we see Justin Fields sliding on his stomach into the end zone.
yeah, like
with
Yeah.
the rain, like that is fun.
it's an outdoor game.
And it takes
Yeah.
it
meant
back
play
to the high
outdoors.
school days even. I don't know.
Yeah.
My cousin, he went to like Fredonia High School, and his field, I know it was just, I don't know, maybe they got a turf one, but it was like notorious for just being terrible. But it's like you had to prepare for that. You
Yeah.
had to prepare
Yeah.
for a terrible field. You had to prepare for these elements. And that was just part of the fun of it.
It's not like I see this argument a lot of times. It's like, well, a lot of the players want grass fields and stuff like that. The Bills are having a grass field. We're going to have an outdoor stadium.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that hard. These teams have millions and millions and millions of dollars. They can take care of some grass in the cold weather. Like, you know what I mean?
I still feel like our new stadium is just a little bit too high class for our city.
Oh,
but-
yeah, big time.
Like,
If
honestly,
they don't
not
try-
even a little, like way too much. It's like we don't need couches in the stadium
No.
for people to throw up on and lounge around on.
Also, are there going to be troughs? If there's not troughs, then there's not going to be a trough.
I don't know. There probably will.
There needs to
There
be
has
troughs.
to be, or else the bathroom lines are going to be double the size.
Dude, absolutely. Also, like, a trough is like the greatest place to pee in the entire world.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, if they don't put troughs, then a pee wall is going to form somewhere.
yeah, that's what
They
needs
better
to
hope
happen.
it's not on.
I'll
on-
protest. There needs to be a trough. But yeah, no. Rams, Seahawks?
Rams, Seahawks,
Yeah.
shootout.
Really surprised that the Seahawks won this one.
I'm not. I figured they'd win all the way that whole week. I figured
After
they'd
their
win.
divisional game too.
Yeah.
I was like,
They
the Seahawks.
stomped the Niners.
Yeah, the divisional game I did not think that one was going to be close either. The fact that Sam Darnold is putting it together the way
I'm
that
so
he
proud
is,
of him, man.
good for him, honestly.
With that, I wanted to bring up a stat. So last year in the playoffs, Sam Darnold played the Rams with the Vikings. He was 25 of 40, 245, touchdown pick. He ate 9 sacks in that game.
Jeez.
And they basically ran him out of town after that. And then he plays the Rams
Yep.
in the playoffs this year, goes 25 of 36, 346, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers, only took 3 sacks. I mean, the improvement of Sam Darnold has been unreal.
awesome.
Insane. And it's also like their defense and special teams.
Yes, bro.
Like their special teams, I don't know if this is going to be backed up stat, but it felt like they got a touchdown so much just from returning touchdowns and
Returns,
stuff.
I feel like they even got like blocked punts.
Yeah.
I mean, they were maybe the best team in the league all year in all 3 phases of the game.
Truly.
Yeah, it's like you can't count out like, oh, they're just gonna win it because they can get a field goal. The Seahawks might block that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And like that defense is legit, and
Yep.
it's like, well, obviously they're
It's
going
awesome.
to the Super Bowl, but it's so crazy because, I mean, think about like 2 years ago, like even last year, kind of the Seahawks, like their defense was good, but I mean, the Bills kind of went in there and stomped them last year, I want to say. Or maybe it was even close.
They were laughable with Geno Smith just in general.
Yeah.
No offense to Geno, but.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, that's the thing.
Like, he had his moments, but it didn't mean anything in terms of, championships.
100%. And I think JSN is making a real case in being, like, maybe
JSN is
the top receiver in the league.
He's maybe the smoothest receiver in the league. Brady brought up a point during the game how, like, his shoulder plane doesn't change. Like, guys don't know how to get a beat on him.
Yeah.
Like, that's why he's so effective in route running. That's why in the game he has 165 yards, and I swear he does it, like, every week. He has 160 yards, like, every week.
It's crazy, dude. It is absolutely insane. But, the Seahawks, they're legit. And I just think I think that's, like, the thing about – I think we'll probably do Super Bowl predictions next week before.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's do that.
But I don't really see a world where the Seahawks don't win this one.
I don't see a world where they don't win by, like,
and if they don't,
double
then
digits.
the Bills are actually cursed.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even kidding.
If Drake May gets a Super Bowl ring before Josh Allen.
But, yeah, we are all, at least I'm a Seahawks fan for the next 2 weeks, man.
Yeah.
I already kind of was, like, when the playoffs started because – or the Bears. I would have loved to see the Bears go all the way. Awesome Caleb Williams moments in the playoffs, man.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see their future.
Yeah, is there anything, like, general, like, from, like, the playoffs that you guys want to, like, throw out there that maybe you liked, that you thought was, like, a big-time play, that you thought was fun?
Obviously the Caleb plays. The Caleb throws against Green Bay and L.A.
Just Bryce
Crazy.
Young deserves a round of applause for that absolute phenomenal play. Like, that was just – he went out there and he balled, and you know what, like, it sucks because he went up against Puka Nacua and Matt Stafford, which is, like, tough, but he absolutely balled, and I wish he had won that game.
I think that's the perfect example of just not giving up on a guy. I mean, they benched him in the middle of last season. I mean, they could have easily given up on him, but they stuck with him. And
honestly, same thing with Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Yep. These guys, they can bounce back a little bit. But, like, I think this goes into the argument that, like, you need to give a rookie QB a year to develop. You can't just toss him in. Like, think about Josh. Think about Pat Mahomes. Like, if you give these guys a year, like, they develop better.
Yeah. I think now more than any time before, these teams, like, they put themselves in a box. They're like, oh, we have to win while our quarterback's on a rookie contract, and it just kills the development of these quarterbacks.
100%. And even, like, kind of like Shedeur had a couple weeks before he got out there, and he went out there and he succeeded. He played well. Yeah. Like, those reps like, in practice are probably so invaluable for those young QBs because it's just a whole different speed.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, the stadium, the fans, everything. I guess in terms of, football still, but not NFL, you have it pulled up. I just want to say I'm proud of Miami, man. I was rooting for Miami. I can't even lie, just because I always love to see a dog. But I'm happy that Indiana, they've changed their entire school's future around. It was never supposed to be a football school, but now it is.
It's sweet. It's awesome. And, yeah, good for Miami, too. Like, I think in the last episode when we did predictions, I had Miami exit first round. I think I had A&M.
Schedule just came out, yeah.
So, good for them. I mean, that was, like, a great year. Carson Beck, I mean, obviously tough last play of the game.
Yeah.
But
you got to try something.
You got to do something when you're in those winning spots. Congratulations to Indiana. Good for them.
Is there anything from that you guys would want to touch on? I mean, Indiana, just to touch on them one more time, I mean, 38-3 against Alabama, 56-22 against Oregon, and then they played the tight one against Miami. I mean, they were cruising until they ran into Miami.
Yeah, I mean, Kurt Signetti is just a dog.
Yeah.
Yep.
And even in that game against Miami, he decided to go for the fourth down where Mendoza had that crazy diving touchdown. And then at the end...
They got to change the Heisman to that position, bro.
And then at the end of the game, Miami was driving, calls the timeout. Very next play, they get the game-sealing pick. So he was making – it's not just the players out there. I mean, he made two big decisions that won him that game.
Yep.
100%. You got anything else for National?
Nah, I don't. I wasn't really too locked in on the National Football Championship.
Were you locked in on UFC 324?
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring that up next. Apparently there's that big fight.
I was really excited one, just to get back from the super long break.
Yeah.
And two, Paramount Plus had their debut event, which I thought was pretty good. Very ad written, but at the same time, it's like, what are we expecting? You know what I mean? It's Paramount Plus.
That's just the nature of sports now.
Too.
I mean, I just saw the NCAA is now going to add sponsorship patches on the uniforms. I mean, that's just the age of sports now. Everything's an advertisement.
Like I wanted to come on and like complain about ads, but at the same time, it's like everything is an ad. You know what I mean? Like we don't even know. Like I'm subtly promoting whatever this is. You're promoting that a little bit. It's like your shoes, what you consume on social media is basically all just an ad. So it's like we can't really complain. You know, media and sports and entertainment is an ad. They want you to end up spending your money somewhere, and we can't blame them. So, yeah, UFC was awesome. I think we'll just start it off. You know, anything caught your eye?
I mean, Natalia Silva against Rose Namajunas. Natalia Silva won. I don't know how. I thought Rose Namajunas won, and then she's going to go fight Shevchenko for the title, and she has no shot in that fight. Absolutely no shot.
I like that. No shot.
And then, I mean, I wouldn't say the card was bad, but just not.
I know. It didn't feel
there wasn't
as
much going
monumental
for it.
as the moment was, I think, just for the UFC in general. At least the fights that, you know, it looks awesome on paper, but then you look into the details. Okay, Figgy's 38, Derek Lewis is 40.
I don't know who in the right mind.
Did he have a good quote?
Derek Lewis?
He lost.
Yeah. He lost? Oh, no.
That's what that was going to be. I don't know who in the right mind thought he should be a main card fight.
Paramount, probably.
I think it's time he needs to hang up the gloves.
Did you catch the Gaudier fight on the
I
prelims?
didn't know.
He was on like a 9-fight knockout streak. So obviously Paramount's probably picking, you know, it's like we want people who are getting knockouts. He goes to a 3-round decision. It's just how it works, you know what I mean?
You can't predict how these fights are going to go.
But the most important fights were, the O'Malley versus Song Yadong fight where O'Malley won by decision. I honestly thought he was going to get back to his knockout ways. This was basically, you know, I kind of think of it as if you get a knockout here, you get a title shot.
Yeah.
It's kind of on a platter for him, but you couldn't do it.
Yeah, I thought he looked. I mean, obviously, you're always going to look good when you're not fighting Merab, who's got some of the most insane cardio ever. But I thought he looked good, especially in the third round. He really started putting it on Song and clinched the fight, really, in that third round.
Yeah.
So for the people who don't know a lot about UFC, so like when you're like getting before you go for a title fight, like it's all Dana White that like decides all this stuff, right?
It's very much not like
there's a couple people.
It's not like a ladder, you know what I mean?
There's ranking. They have rankings, but let's be real, they just do it.
They have rankings, but Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje were fighting for a interim title when the number one contender is sitting. So
it's really they just make up whatever they want.
Okay,
that's kind of a big criticism. It's almost becoming a popularity contest for the UFC.
Yeah.
Really, want the views. Well, it is cool that's on Paramount now because now this is
have Paramount.
This is gonna be. I do have Paramount.
Oh, cool.
This is the sport that I need to like lock in. Like, I want to get into. Obviously.
Well, you can. They got another card this Saturday.
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
Well, that's might be the move. But yeah, so it's gonna become like a consistent thing then. But it's not like weekly. There's no way.
No,
UFC could ever do
mean,
weekly.
they do, but like it's not always pay-per-views.
No. Okay.
Yeah, there's
and it's done with
cards
pay-per-views,
and fight
right?
nights.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
just streaming.
I mean, I was watching it with someone else, but I think you just log in Paramount Plus and it's right there. No.
Yeah.
Well, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Anything else UFC was?
Justin Gaethje is the first 2-time interim champion in UFC history, and I think it is part of the prophecy that Ilia Topuria will knock him out.
Yeah, I don't see, especially Gaethje looked much slower than he usually did. And it's because, I mean, the guy's like 37 years old. He doesn't stand a chance against Ilia Topuria. Whenever they fight, I don't know. It could be on that White House card.
Ooh.
I forgot about that.
But, yeah, I don't think Gaethje stands a chance, which feels like a recurring theme saying on this card. But
all right, we don't do politics, but where do you think they put that?
South Lawn.
Yeah, supposedly
it's
it's
going on the
somewhere
South Lawn.
somewhere on the lawn. Where I don't know how they're gonna make that work.
I don't even logistically.
I don't even really care about what card they put together. I'm more curious of like what it's gonna look like.
Yeah, like it's gonna be open like the public.
No, it's not.
It's
only gonna be like celebrities. And
I think
stuff?
it's gonna be like
an exclusive event. Yeah,
that's so
they're gonna do
dumb.
a watch party. Have you two ever been to DC?
Not
No.
when I
Kind
was
of
a
like
kid.
across from the White House grounds, I believe. They call it like the National Mall, I think, where they're gonna put like a giant screen and just have like more of a public viewing. But yeah, it's gonna be exclusive. Hundreds of thousands of dollars just to clean up this event because it's gonna do some damage to the South Lawn, I guess.
Yeah.
And I guess the South Lawn has a weight limit, so they got to support it and do this and that.
Bro.
sounds like a logistical nightmare.
Sounds like
Yeah.
it was a bad idea.
So
Like a stupid person making a decision. Moving on. Anything else UFC wise?
Not really.
we got a rematch in the featherweight championship this weekend. Honestly, I'm not really feeling too excited for this one just because we've seen it. And at the same time, it's like, I don't know.
I think it's one of those where like you don't really have that much excitement going into it, but I think it's going to be a good fight. The first fight was a good one. I think the card in general, I think, is somewhat okay.
Yeah. I really wish, I was talking to my friend, I wish they had combined kind of this card with the one that was last week a little bit. Because I think Volk Lopez would have been awesome right after Gaethje Pimblett. But although they did have the Nunes-Harrison fight fall through, so
that's true.
that sucked. Yeah, I mean, UFC, we'll obviously just keep you all in the loop on the pod. We're not going to make it a UFC pod, but we are just going to, update everybody on what happens. And I think to finish things off,
Could we just do one more thing baseball-wise?
Yeah.
I know it's already a long one. Sorry,
no,
guys.
it's okay.
It's just we've had a lot to cover with this break
it's
or
been
whatever.
Weeks of break, so.
Yeah, and I don't think we're probably never going to do them long like this very often. I mean,
No,
because
we'll be back to weekly, so we won't have this much to talk about.
Exactly.
Plus, we wanted to just chop it up like us three.
100%. We haven't really talked all that much back. We had our one morning class together this morning, but
yeah, that's
we
cool.
didn't get to
I think
talk
we
much.
have every morning at 8 a.m. We're gonna have a class together.
Yeah.
So we're going to be seeing a lot of each other. Baseball-wise, got my heart ripped out twice free agent signing-wise.
Ooh.
We did sign Dylan Cease, which was cool. I don't know if we talked about that. I don't know if that happened back then.
I don't remember when it happened, but that
was a while ago.
Yeah.
Dylan Cease, that's cool. We lost Kyle Tucker. You know what? Fine. Who cares about Kyle Tucker? I care. But the Dodgers blew him out with a ton of more money. What are you going to do? It's the Dodgers.
What are you going to do? There's going to be a lockout in 2027.
27,
So if you're looking forward to baseball after this season, you're going to have to wait a little while.
There's zero chance that, no chance that there's a season.
No. At least not right away. I mean, they might have a late start. Who knows?
I have a theory about this, though, but I'll save that for some other time. But I have a theory about the Pirates and them and their free agents and stuff. But then I lost Bo Bichette.
Yeah.
That is a heartbreaking. To the Mets, who are going to use him at third.
That's a lot better. I thought he might be a Yankee, so I will take him on the Mets any day.
That makes no sense to me in my mind at all. And then both of them, and honestly, I knew Bo was going to leave for the money. Like, I literally saw him signing a different team's contract as he hit that home run. He was Game 7 of the World Series, Bo Bichette was literally like, how much money am I going to make after this game? And he just decided to hit a bomb. So I understood that was going to happen. I saw this quote today where Kyle Tucker said that he wanted to be in Toronto. We offered him $350 million for a 10-year, $35 million a year. Dodgers offered him $60 million a year. I mean, unless you want the guy, you don't really want to play in Toronto because you care more about $60 million. I'm not going to get too bent out of shape about it.
Don't forget all that deferred money.
Yeah. We'll talk about that in the theory. We could do a whole podcast about how annoying it is that there's going to be a lockout and how it will not get solved, and we're just going to end up exactly where we are right now.
Probably, yeah.
So
Nothing will change.
Does spring training go on if there's a lockout impending is planned?
It won't be this upcoming season.
Oh,
It will
okay.
be the following one.
Dang.
So the Players Association and the MLB's contract run out after this upcoming season, and they have to renegotiate. And that's what causes lockouts is they won't be able to make a they won't be able to come to an agreement.
So the
There's
players
no chance.
and is it the owners?
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Interesting. It's almost like the government.
Yeah,
A little bit different,
Exactly,
obviously.
yeah.
It's like the parties, but
yeah, no.
that's crazy. Yeah, we'll keep y'all in the loop with baseball.
You want to talk Ramirez, or you just resigned?
Yeah, Jose Ramirez re-signs with the Guardians. I think it was 7 years, $175 million.
Dang.
They got into the deferred money portion, $70 million deferred. We feel like an actual baseball team now doing that. Since the camera wanted to cut me off, probably for the best, but it cut me off at cheap bastards because that's what they are. They'll probably try to offload some players just because, I mean, God forbid they spend money and then keep players on top of that. But, yeah, that's all I got to say on that. I mean, outside of that, baseball-wise, there wasn't much this offseason, really.
We still got some time.
That's true. Toronto and New York, the Mets probably made the most moves of anybody.
So far. We're definitely up there. We might have made the most so far.
Yeah.
The Yanks just signed Bellinger. That's all I know really for them.
I think that's pretty much all they did. They got him and Grisham back.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll finally decide to rebuild. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully they continue
hopefully
to just be middle of the road. They'll be like the Bills of the MLB. So.
Whoa! What? That was another hate. Oh my god!
It's true. It is hate. It is a little bit
What
of hate.
depths of Twitter are you on that you see the Yankees-Bills comparisons?
Yankees every year blow it in the playoffs. Well, they got to a World Series.
Oh my god, yo! This is evisceration. What are you?
Drop a comment if we need a new third member of the podcast.
Yeah, yo.
I'm not letting
Kidding.
them have the Bills favoritism take over this podcast.
we need you on this
We do
podcast.
need you. We do need you.
Because then
We
we would
need
be
a-
like, we would just be in a bubble
An
chamber.
echo chamber,
Or echo
yeah.
chamber.
We need a Cleveland sports.
Yeah, we need
knower
somebody
on
that's
this.
like kind of just a realist. It's like,
I
yeah,
know
McDermott
what,
sucked for 9
yeah.
years.
You guys probably should have fired him.
We just need someone who has my pain of like knowledge of watching sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we aren't crazy, locked into the NHL. Are you really that
No,
much?
not really.
But our home team, the Buffalo Sabres, have been on a tear recently. But we've seen tears before, and it doesn't end well. Will this one be any different?
So I've been talking I have my lead correspondent in the NHL, my buddy Sal. And from all estimations from my expert, he says that we will make the playoffs. But
Okay.
And this Doan, he's really good. I'm just going to act like I know what I'm talking about for a second. Our power play has been really iffy. Goaltending has not been great, is from what I'm hearing from my sources as well. That's a big thing we need to work on. But we should, if we keep going the way that we are, we have a game against. I think we won both games against Montreal.
Yeah, those were big.
Which was huge. So I think we're doing good right now. I think we should make the playoffs hypothetically. Doan has been playing really well. Tuck has been playing really well.
Benson's been getting
Benson
some
is
flack
getting
from every fan base, I guess.
Yeah, he had a quote I just saw, and it was like, "I want to be booed in 31 arenas around the league," and it's like that's awesome. Like that's great.
But yeah, there's some excitement around the Sabres, and it makes me excited too to see. I have friends that are diehard Sabres fans, and they've just been depressed for
Absolutely
years on end. So that's exciting. What is interesting though is, that 10-win streak obviously gave us a huge boost to get us where we are right now. But winning doesn't seem like this could be kept going like at this rate. If we want to keep in the playoffs, we have to kind of almost stay at this rate or beat it out of what we're doing right now.
Yeah,
that's the only worry that I have, at least.
When it first started happening, so we were on like a 3-game win streak when we fired our GM Kevin Adams.
Yep,
that's crazy. 3-game win streak and you get fired. And this is all his roster still too, which is pretty funny. Like these guys were just bad while he was there, and then as soon as he got fired, they decided to turn it on. But so he's probably at home feeling bad about himself. But that's like the thing. I mean, they're doing good. They have a lot of momentum right now. I'd say they're probably, if not the hottest, one of the hottest teams in the NHL. Yep. And when you are playing like this, and you have so much momentum and you're closing out near the end of the season, it's phenomenal. And NHL, everyone will talk about it this is a game where any team can win the Stanley Cup playoff. You just need to get in the playoff.
Yep.
and you can win.
And you can be at the bottom of the league the next year.
100%.
Because I was just kind of browsing through. I was like, dang, I mean, St. Louis didn't win the Cup too many years ago. They suck.
No, yeah. And like, that's the thing. So
there's a couple other teams like that, but, you know, we're just hoping for the best here in Buffalo, man. We're not going to obviously get our hopes up too much. At least I don't think it will be healthy for us to do that.
Yeah, we're third in the Atlantic right now.
Nice.
Well, you looked it up. I got a question.
Sure.
Let's say the Bills win a Super Bowl, Sabres win the Stanley Cup. What do you think? Which one is a bigger deal in the city of Buffalo?
I think the Cup.
Buffalo's a hockey town.
That's what I've heard. But, I mean, the Sabres haven't been good enough for me to see it firsthand.
Yeah.
So.
Like, because I think the fact that the Cup just almost doesn't seem, like, fathomable for Buffalo fans.
Yeah.
At least for me it doesn't, because I was a kid when all this, you know, was kind of 2006, 2007 was happening around. But
like that 16, like that Derek Roy, like Ryan Miller.
Like I kind of got into it when they were starting to get sucky. Like I don't know if you guys remember Tyler Ennis.
Yeah,
he was like my favorite player as a kid.
100%.
That was kind of the era that I kind of grew up in terms of Sabres. The Ennis, Connolly, Jonas Enroth was like my favorite goalie for some reason.
So right now we're third in the Atlantic, but Montreal and Boston.
Okay.
Montreal is at 63 points. Boston.
How does the hockey playoff seeding work? Is it like
so it's like there's like 4, and then it's like the top 3 make it, and then there's 1 wild card. There's 2. So in like the Eastern Conference, 3 from the Atlantic can make it, 3 from the Metropolitan, and then 1 wild card and another wild card. So 2 wild card spots. Montreal and Bruins are at 63 points. Sabres are at 63 points.
Yeah, so looking at it, at least for me, who doesn't know much about hockey, I feel like the Sabres got a decent enough shot to make the playoffs, no?
Yeah. No, 100%. Like, we're in right now, and, like, that's the thing. It's just tough. Like, we're on a 3-game win streak right now. We're 7-2-1 in our last 10. And we can put it together. Like, we just need to win some away games, which we've been better about, but at the beginning of the season, we were god-awful at. We were horrible at. So if we can keep this momentum rolling, I mean, who knows? Maybe we even have a shot at the Cup. Like, I've been seeing a lot of Sabres fans cope with that.
Dude, just seeing the Sabres, like, in the playoffs would be
that'd be awesome.
Freaking awesome, man.
I might have to go to a game if they make the playoffs. I haven't
should,
been to
bro.
a Sabres game yet,
I
so
was
that might
telling
have to
my
be
friend,
the
I
first
was
one.
like,
Tickets
if
are
the
so
Sabres
cheap.
make the playoffs, I almost want to just, like, be at any local dive bar.
Yeah,
just,
no.
like, with that crowd to watch
100%.
Even the Stanley Cup game, it's like, I'll just go to the bar. I'll be with, you know, the fans that can't afford it.
Just, no, 100%. But tickets right now for the Sabres, like, they aren't even really bad. Obviously, the playoffs would be insane. But right now, you can still go for, like, $35. You can sit up there.
If we could find maybe a game, maybe us 3 could do, like, a
little vid.
podcast
there.
A pod mid Sabres game.
Especially if it's
awesome.
especially if it's like a weeknight game.
Yeah.
Because we could just use our phones as the mics, or just have like a vlog experience. If anybody wants that in the comments, because that would probably be an awesome night. But yeah, I think I'm kind of tired of talking about sports.
Yeah,
I mean,
we've covered just about everything.
Yeah,
100%.
It was a super awesome break, and I'm excited that we're kind of just rolling right in. I mean, it's the first day for us, and I'm proud of us, man. We're right back to it. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been looking forward to this, so especially after Joe Brady gets signed an hour before we start.
Yeah, that's an awesome way to start the podcast.
It was a rough trying to figure out how to get into this room.
That is true.
Yeah,
we
shout out to Aiden and Lucas for walking around campus.
Mostly Aiden.
No, yeah, we were battling. No,
okay.
Lucas and I were.
I was a support system at the time.
So it counts.
You did. I needed him there.
But if anyone is watching at this point, it's been probably almost 50 minutes. Comment 2026 because it is 2026, y'all.
Yes, it is.
And we're excited to make this thing happen this year. Keep doing what we're doing. So
coming weekly, we're gonna be back at it.
Yeah, we still have that sports player event we want to do.
That yes, that
so that's gonna be fun. Maybe we could even make that a live thing.
100%.
Where it's almost like locked in live or something.
Sure, I was telling him before we started, we could even do like an NFL draft watch party in April.
Yeah, 100%.
Unless they rope us in with digital journalism to do something because I think they might.
Which you guys can watch us on. Oh,
yeah.
Which you guys can watch us on that though.
Oh yeah, we could do live streams through the phone. So if we wanted to do the writing athlete thing locked in on live, we could do that.
100%.
Yeah, be sure to drop a like. Check out the record website and the rest of the videos on this channel. And any final words, guys?
Go Birds, go Jays, go Bills.